Hey everyone, today we are going to be continuing our conversation from yesterday about integers. And today we're going to add how we know what the meaning of zero is. So zero can have different meanings based on the context of the situation. Sometimes zero represents an amount that doesn't change. And how we represent that is no change. We would say that it's no change. This is going to be in situations where zero does not represent something as it relates to that situation. Zero is going to represent a value that isn't changing at that current time. And zero can be used to represent real world ideas such as sea level. So remember we talked about elevation yesterday, and we have a sea level. That's our base. So that's going to be zero, or temperature can be 0 degrees, or par can be 0, among other things. So we've got a couple of examples here on the front side where we are going to look at situations and talk about how the values relate to zero, so that we can figure out what zero means in that situation. And then on the back side, I'm going to have you guys practice identifying the meaning of zero, and that's going to be considered our homework. But we're going to do it. We're going to do a few together, and then I'll have you guys do the rest. So number 1 says, during a series of plays in a football game, the team gained 10 yards, lost 5 yards, gained 0 yards, and lost 4 yards before they had to punt the ball. Graph the integers on a number line and explain the meaning of zero. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot my number line here. So 0, I'm going to put right in the middle. So it looks like 10 is the most. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just to keep it even. So 10 is the top and negative 10 is the bottom. It says the team gained 10 yards. Then they lost 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They gained 0, and then they lost 4. So I'm going to have 1 right next to 5 here at negative 4. So this is negative 5, this is negative 4. So here's my graph of the integers on the number line. So positive 10, negative 5, 0, and then negative 4. And here I want to talk about what this 0 means. Well, when you're playing football, it's 100 yards. And when you go from end zone to end zone, you go up 50 yards and then back down 50 yards to the other side. But when you talk about gaining and losing yards on your possession, if you gained 0 yards, then your position on the field didn't change. So this 0 is going to represent no change. Okay, so nothing happened to change your field position in that situation. In number 2, Tiger Woods was playing the Masters tournament, and his scores for the day are an even par. Remember that par is, even, not par. Even means that we're at 0. 2 strokes over par is going to be a positive 2. 4 strokes under par is going to be a negative 4. And then 1 stroke under par is going to be a negative 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I played even, that means that I used the exact number of strokes that I should have. He was 2 strokes over, 4 strokes under, and then 1 stroke under. Now, yesterday we spent some time talking about golf, and I kind of explained how you want your score to be negative. You want to be better than even or better than par. So in this situation, 0 represents par. So if I'm at an even par, that means my score is technically 0 because these scores are under par. These scores are over par. So this must be par. So on the football one, if I'm talking about like under par and over par, this would be gained. This would be lost. So 0 is going to represent no change. Number 3 says the temperature in Stevensville changes on an hourly basis throughout the day. Between sunrise and 10 a.m., the temperature rose 10 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here's 10. I'm going to put a 10 there. Between 10 a.m. and noon, the temperature increased 2 degrees. So here's 2. Between noon and 5 p.m., it decreased 4 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4. And between 5 and midnight, the temperature decreased 14 degrees. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So all the way at the bottom here, negative 14 degrees. So this side of 0 is going to represent an increase in temperature. This side of 0 is going to represent a decrease in temperature. So 0 in this situation represents the temperature is not changing. So this is going to be no change. Okay, so what do positives mean? What do negatives mean in each situation? And then what does 0 mean as a result of that? The back side of this is going to be your homework. It just gives you a bunch of situations. And what it wants you to do is it wants you to write an integer. So for example, if I deposited $40 into my account, an integer would be $40. And the meaning of 0 in this situation is going to represent no change. And again, if I think of this in terms of a number line, and this is 0, this is going to be my deposit. This is a withdrawal. So what does 0 represent? That nothing in my account is changing. Okay. For number 2, it says you have $40. So again, positive 40. And then the meaning of 0 in this situation is going to be $0. Now, the reason why the meaning of 0 in this situation is $0 is if here is 0 and here's $40, I can increase the amount of money that I have, and I can decrease the amount of money that I have. But when I get to $0, I don't have any more money. So if I have $20, then I have $20. If I have $0, then I have $0. So what I would like for you guys to do is to try the rest of these, identify the integer for each situation, and then determine what the meaning of 0 is in that situation. So what does either side of 0 represent? And then what does 0 represent as a result of that? And we'll go over answers tomorrow or Monday, because tomorrow's Friday. So Monday. Good luck.